brought to you by Cloudcast Media, a podcast leader in developing shows to elevate local brands, local stories, and local storytellers. Cloudcast, bringing ears and minds home.
The San Diego Union Tribune and Retirement Strategies Group present the Union Tribune Community Spotlight Show with your host, Drew Schlossberg.
I'm Drew Schlossberg of the San Diego Union Tribune, and we are thrilled to have back in the studio our frequent guest, and that is Debra Emerson. She is the CEO of St. Madeleine Sophie's Center. Debra, always good to see you.
Always a pleasure to see you, too, especially during the holidays.
And it's during the holidays, and, of course, anybody who thinks things slow down in the world of nonprofits have not worked in a nonprofit. So I bet you're just as busy now as you are in the middle of the year.
Always. Christmas at our campus is a happy place. We just had our student appreciation, our staff lunch. So everybody's so excited about the holidays.
No, I think that's terrific. So for our listeners who aren't familiar with St. Madeleine's, which I guarantee that is a very small number, talk a little bit about the mission and how long you've been there. And, of course, we'll save time for all the cool things that are coming up in your world and how our listeners can support your efforts.
Thank you. St. Madeleine Sophie Center was formed in 1966 when children with disabilities weren't allowed in the school system. And so now we serve adults with developmental disabilities from the ages of about 22 to 85 every day. And they all have different types of disabilities. I say not disabilities, but abilities. And they have different programs they go to based on their disabilities. And they have jobs in the community, also volunteer a lot in the community. And on campus, we have great programs that our students go to every day, including horticulture, swimming, cooking, computer labs, and ceramics and art. And so it's just a busy place. I call it a village. People
Sure.
are coming and going, and it's a happy place.
So how many folks take part in this each year, and is it a stable number? You said from ages 22 to 85, I believe you said. And is that group constant? Is it always that X amount of folks, or do they come and go? How does that work?
Basically, we have an attendance of about 400.
Right.
And sometimes our absenteeism could be 10 or 15%. So on campus every day, I'm sure we have about 360 people coming to the campus.
Right.
And then they go out in the community based on what their schedule is.
Right, but they're the same 400. Okay,
Yes,
it's just
they
like
are.
you're right.
Right, like a school.
Like a school.
I call it like a liberal arts college for this group of people.
Right. Liberal arts college. That's funny. And again, and I think you had mentioned this. St. Madeline's has been around for how many years now?
Since 1966.
Right, since 1966. And you've got someone who is still at the school, so to speak, that was there in 1966, correct?
We have about 12 students.
That's wild.
That started with St. Madeleine's as children, preschool age, where the Sisters of the Sacred Heart helped the children and the parents at that time.
Right. I mean, that is just absolutely amazing. So were they young when they started? Were they... because you got folks that are up there till 85. You mentioned, had they been there for quite a while?
Yes, I can, particularly Mark Remland.
Right.
He was started as I think a small child.
Right.
Really, and he's still there. He's living more independently now and still doing his art. And we have a lot of people like that. Annie Thunder has been with us. Her mother was she was one of the original students. And she loves the garden, works in the garden every day. Right,
and so they're chosen by how? I mean, what are the qualifications to get you at the St. Madeleine's?
I think there's the criteria is somebody born with a developmental disability.
Okay.
And there's a wide range of disabilities.
Right. And do you guys sanction that or approve it, so to speak, or does it come from another entity and they say these people qualify to be at St. Madeleine's? How does that work?
Usually when a person's born, at the hospital, they
Right.
diagnose the person.
Yeah.
And then San Diego Regional Center,
Gotcha.
Department of Developmental Services, sets them up with benefits, especially as children today.
Right.
And they advocate for different services through the school system. Once they get out of the high school system, then they have options to come to different programming that, based on what they want to do.
Right. We're chatting with Debra Emerson. She's the CEO, been 24 years of St. Madeleine's Sophie Center, and it's out in East County. And I will encourage all of you folks to go out there and take a look at this beautiful place, doing great work with these 400 students, so to speak. Is there a waiting list?
I wouldn't call a waiting list. People want to come into our programs because of the richness of them,
right?
And so it takes a little bit of time to get people in, especially with staffing.
Right.
Staffing is crucial,
right.
And today in every industry, I think
Sure.
there's a lot of turnover, and our industry is one of those that's impacted by turnover.
Right. And you need a specialized staff member, do you not?
Yes, we need somebody that has passion, that believes in the mission,
Sure.
and likes to work with people.
Right. And again, and we've been honored to have some of your students in here showing the great artwork they've done and so forth, and we'll chat about that too. But money doesn't grow on trees, so there are a variety of events you folks do, and pretty cool and fun events. Talk about the one that's coming up on the 18th of January.
That's a really special event. I think it kicks off the season for a lot of nonprofits. It's Tea by the Sea. It's at the Marine Room with Chef Bernard and Chef Thomas. It's just a beautiful event. Chef Bernard, I think this is our 6th or 7th year for us to do this. He creates a very special menu and also a special cocktail, and the desserts are fabulous, and it's just a big buzz around town. And the funding for this year is going to our gallery. We moved our gallery, so we're trying to move into it. It's on 140 East Main, hopefully being there the first of the year. And so that's what we're fundraising for this year, is our art program. It's such a piece for us, and right now everybody's on campus. They want their own space, and they're limited with what they can do. So we're really excited about the new space. We're right on Main Street in El Cajon with a lot of other galleries, so we're really looking to partner and collaborate with those galleries, the city of El Cajon, the downtown district.
Now, would you say that the gallery is sort of your bread and butter of St. Madeleine's, or just one of many wonderful footprints?
I think it's one of the wonderful footprints of St. Madeleine's. Like I was saying earlier, I feel like we do a lot of liberal arts, and art is one of our main pieces that shows people have abilities in the art world, and we have a lot of shows worldwide. So we're travel shows each year.
Interesting.
And we have something at the airport right now. And so we're always working with public art also and other artists. No,
that's terrific. And again, Tea by the Sea is Saturday, January the 18th at the Marine Room. Tickets are only $135. You want to get a table, $13.50. There's signature cocktails from 11 to 12:30, and then the Tea by the Sea program with music and a visit from Chef Bernard. And we'll certainly want to shout out those honorary chairs, and that is Maureen King and Barbara Menard, on this. And so now, is Barbara the spouse of Paul Menard?
No.
Okay.
Her family's been involved with us for a long, long time.
Okay.
And so we're really excited about her being the chair also.
Okay. We worked with the Paul Menard here of Charlie and Harrigan fame. He was a radio host and all that business, and started with us many, many years ago in that aspect of it. So how are sales going? Did you just launch it? It sells out, does it not?
We just launched it a couple weeks ago, and it does sell out fairly quickly because we're limited to about 230 people.
Right.
And it's just an exciting place to go to, with the high waves always being an option too, and crashing on the windows.
They do. That's right. And hopefully not through the windows.
I know.
That's right.
And Chef Bernard and Chef Thomas just put on a wonderful menu, and the staffing at the Marine Room. So we're just very excited to be there again this year.
I think that's terrific. And, now do you have some of your artwork featured there too? Do you bring some of the students and display some of it?
This year it's really exciting. We have a whole new ceramics program, and it's really taken off, and they've done teapots and teacups, and some of that art will be on display and also up for auction.
Nice.
So we're really excited about that.
No, that'd be terrific. So, well, what's the website so people can sign up?
The website is www.stmsc.org.
Right.
Or call our phone number 619-442-5129.
Again, it's Tea by the Sea. It's going to be on Saturday, January the 18th at the Venerable Marine Room in La Jolla. And if you haven't been to the Marine Room, it's just a treat going there too. But you got one of the top chefs in the country, if not the world, that will be participating in this. And it's for just this terrific cause. It's going to benefit Sophie's gallery art program. We got about a minute before we go to break here. Quickly talk about the art program. How does that work?
The art program students who are interested in the art program go to the art program every day. They can go half a day or a full day, and they do a lot of different mediums down at the gallery. Painting, mosaic is another key piece that we do, and also weaving. We're doing a lot of weaving and those kind of things, and then just special projects with a different kind of format that we're doing. I think their show in February to do the grand opening for Sophie's is prints, dog prints. So that should be an exciting show for us also to kick off our new gallery. Yeah,
you have a lot of great programs. We're going to be talking about that also when we come back from break. And you're looking for volunteers?
All the time.
Okay.
That's what makes our place really operate, is volunteers are like jewels.
Right.
And especially if they come and work a couple days and make a commitment to the programs. And sometimes those volunteers turn into employees, so that's always a special thing. It
is, and when you see the work that is done by the folks that are on staff, it's great. We're going to return with Debra Emerson, CEO of St. Madeleine Sophie Center, to chat more about all the cool things happening in her world.
Cloudcast 180. Powerful people, powerful stories, 180 seconds.
Welcome to Cloudcast 180. We're here today with the president and CEO of Father Joe's Villages. Welcome to Deacon Jim Vargas.
Thank you, Charles. Good to be with you.
We have 3 minutes. Let's hit it fast and furiously. We're going to talk this morning with you about San Diego being a very expensive city, which creates a housing crisis, which is exacerbating the homeless crisis in San Diego. Let's talk about your leadership on this issue.
Sure, absolutely. We do have an affordable housing crisis here in San Diego. In fact, if you ask about the number one issue why people fall into homelessness, it's lack of affordability. And so they fall onto the streets, especially when rents go up, and rents are very expensive here. So we at Father Joe's Villages focus tremendously on housing. In fact, about 40% of our intervention is placing individuals into permanent and affordable housing. All right, so shows you the extent of what we do. And of course, there's services that go along with this, because in order for people to retain their housing, their dwellings, they have to have the services that they're necessary, whether it's mental health services or substance use disorder services, whatever that is. We have a Turning the Key initiative, whereby we'll be introducing 2,000 affordable housing units into the community during the next number of years. In fact, we just closed on a deal to purchase and refurbish a motel in the South Bay area. It's going to add 83 permanent supportive housing units. Next week, we'll be closing financially on a groundbreaking that will have 14-story building, 407 units of housing as well, taking about 550 people off the street. So housing is extremely important.
Which means you're investing a lot of capital. How are you finding that capital to solve the housing crisis in San Diego for homeless folks?
90 to 95% of our funding is public funding. Various sources, whether it be from the state, it be local, county, city, municipality. So most of it is public funding. There's tax credits that are involved there. The capital stack is quite large, actually.
So you're finding the land, you're finding the capital, you're changing lives.
How are you minimizing the risk of future homelessness for these clients of yours? We're
minimizing it through our services. We need to make sure that in order for them to retain the housing, that they receive the services that they need that are holistic and are comprehensive to their specific needs.
That's fantastic. Deacon Jim, in the last 10 years, your organization has taken 11,000 folks from homelessness to a home. So I congratulate you. Any closing thoughts for our audience?
No, that's what it's all about. And, I mentioned public funding, but at the end of the day, the bulk of our funding is philanthropic. And so I would encourage your listeners to look at an organization like Father Joe's Villages, who is effective in what it's doing, that helps those not only who are on the streets, but the community at large.
Cloudcast 180. Powerful people, powerful stories, 180 seconds.
The San Diego Union